Today we're going to talk about the very best text messages to send to your ex after a breakup. But first, if you're new to this process and trying to determine even if you want your ex back or you want to simply get over your ex, the best thing that you can do is actually to stop by our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Now, if you're interested in taking the quiz, it is very easy. Just simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click on it. That's it. All right, so let's get started and talk about some of the best text messages we've seen this year work on getting responses from exes. Now, before I start listing off the very best text messages to use on your ex, we first need to understand the overall goal when it comes to texting your ex. Now, a lot of women believe that it's kind of my job to give you every single text message that will work on your ex. And while I would certainly love to do that, what we found works better than anything is organic texting. So in essence, what we try to do at Ex-Boyfriend Recovery and on this YouTube channel is show you how to start conversations and how to start a conversation that can turn into a full-blown organic conversation. So here is the issue with trying to have templated responses to every single thing that you will text your ex. It sounds fake. Part of winning an ex back, if that's what you want to do, is making everything seem authentic, and quite frankly, there's no way to fake authenticity. So rather than dealing out 4 of the best conversations I've seen my clients have with exes, I'm going to just start with one singular text, how they started the conversation. Now, what's interesting is when you actually look at the text messages and how typically they get positive responses from exes, you'll start to notice 2 patterns develop. Firstly, most of the text messages that I've seen work contain some sort of pattern interrupt, some aspect of catching your ex's attention throughout his busy day. Sometimes we will see texts like, hey, I have a confession to make. That's a pattern interrupt. It makes you do kind of one of those double takes. Now, the other interesting aspect that's included in these text messages is also a curiosity hook. The text message, when is read, needs to make an ex curious enough to want to engage in a conversation. So now that you kind of understand the best patterns to go by, let's look at 4 of the best text messages I've seen used this year. Text message number 1. So, have you heard the news? Quite frankly, there isn't a ton to unpack here because it's your basic pattern interrupt curiosity embedded text message. Simply by saying, so, have you heard the news? It will be a pattern interrupt because your ex is going to be thinking, well, what news? But also him thinking, wait, what news is there? Is enough of a curiosity hook to get him engaged in a conversation. After he engages, what do you simply do? You just make a conversation unfold organically. Text number 2. I need your expertise. So not only does this text message combine a pattern interrupt and a curiosity hook, but often you're going to get responses like, on what? You need my expertise on what? Well, here is what you say when your ex kind of says that to actually start a full-blown organic conversation with them. So let's recap. First things first, you say, I need your expertise on something. To which your ex replies, okay, on what? Here's what you say next. I'm having a debate at work, and then you simply put your debate at work in there. So it's a great way of catering to what your ex knows, something that interests him, but also engaging him in an organic conversation. Text number 3. Hey, I thought this would be right up your alley. Now, I have to say, this is my very favorite text message because the women who have used it do something very specific that sets it apart. There's nothing at face value that sounds extremely interesting to say something like, hey, I thought this would be right up your alley. Typically speaking, most women, when they send this text message, will also send some sort of funny video or some sort of news article that will interest the ex. Well, the women who are extremely successful with this text message actually don't send anything. Well, why does that work? Well, think about it. If you've sent the text message, hey, I thought this would be right up your alley, but you don't send anything, it gives your ex an automatic reason to respond, basically saying, hey, you didn't send anything. It's a way to guarantee the response based on curiosity. So essentially what you're doing is the whole text message is a curiosity hook, right? Hey, I thought this would be right up your alley. So they sit around waiting for whatever image or article that you're going to send them to come through on the text message, except it doesn't come. That's where they get extremely interested and basically say, hey, you didn't send anything. And then that's, of course, when you send it and voila, you've created a full-blown conversation. Text message number 4. Hey, I know this is random, but insert question. Now, I know this text message may not seem like a lot, but for whatever reason, this particular text message yielded the most positive responses that we saw in our private Facebook support group. Why? Well, it's pretty much by the book. It's a pattern interrupt with a curiosity hook embedded. In fact, every single one of the text messages that I've talked to you about today are those. But for whatever reason, this kind of makes an ex respond more and engage in a conversation. Now, my theory here is that this particular text message, like a few of the other ones, allows you to insert your ex's interest directly into it. Hey, I know this is random, but I really need your help on this fantasy football league that my work made me join. If your ex is very interested in fantasy football, you have just interested them into a great conversation with you. Hey, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. If you haven't already, make sure you stop everything you're doing and take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. It's a simple 2-minute quiz designed to tell you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. And all you have to do to take the quiz is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click on it. It is really that simple. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Oh yeah, don't forget to comment.